Hello and welcome back to my channel, Checks, Captures, Threats. In today's video, we're playing game 27 in the Rapid Increase. So, we had a draw last time out. I'm pretty sure we lost 1 rating. So hopefully we can gain. We haven't gained in the last 2 times now, I believe. So, we're just going to need to come back from that. So let's start, shall we? So, we're going to play someone 1865, a little bit higher than us here. But, he's going to play the English. So, what we can do here is we'll play e5, we can play, any of these sort of moves. Now, I think what we're going to do is stick to knight f6. Now, the reason I want to play this is this could be very queens-like, and we could play our king's sort of Indian defense, I believe. So, it depends what he plays. Or, what I think we should do in this video, as we have done it on the Learn the Openings, is if he does play d4, we're going to play the Nimzo Indian. So, we're expecting this knight to come out, and we're going to shoot our bishop up to b4 here. So he blocks now, and then a normal move here is c5. Because after takes, I think we can do this whole capture process. It's a little bit weird, but yeah. The only thing is I'm not too fond of that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to develop normally here with d5. Now he's actually going to push here for c5. This is a little bit of a strange move, actually. I'd be very unexpected of this. So, we could castle early here, or we can get our knight out. Now, our knight getting ahead of this c pawn isn't the best idea, but we do attack this d4 pawn, which is kind of what I'm looking at right now. Now, also, what we got to be careful of was this check, which he now cannot do as we've blocked it, and I'm expecting, as we see here, this move, and this limits us to having to take now, as we cannot do anything else after this capture, because we can't go back because of this. So we're going to have to capture this knight, and he's going to capture back with the bishop. Now, we always have this nice e4 move as well soon, which is very nice. Now, we could get our bishop out, but I don't think there's any point doing that just yet, as we have got e5 waiting. So we're just going to castle, and I think now we're going to think about getting all these other pieces out. Now, I think a thing you do in the Nimzo here is we're going to be Franchettoing. So we've got to really think hard about how we want to get that. Now, I feel like Queen e7 is quite a nice move. There's going to be no pin here. So let's get that move going. Already a little bit below on time, but that shouldn't be too bad, as we're moving quite quickly, both of us. So we really still have that really nice move here. I think we'll have that for a long time. I think we should really try and get this going. I think we're actually going to play this now, as it's very strong. If he tries to come in here, I think we have it covered. If we capture, got a nice bit here, but he's actually going to respond now with doubling up on our attack, going b4 now. So if we was to capture, I guess he would capture with this pawn, but he gives us an open file maybe. Maybe he's willing to counter us though. So we're not going to take just yet, we're going to leave that. So we could make our bishop kind of semi-active for now. I think we'll do that, as I'm just a bit wary of this, but I think we don't really want that. But I think we could always have some sort of movement with this knight. Maybe we could take, I'm not too sure. But maybe we try this or something. Maybe that's the move. It looks a bit weird here, but I think we're willing to try it. So we're going to play this. Now this does obviously give him a very nice bishop here, but we can always block with one of these two moves. So obviously him taking, I guess we'd take with our knight, and if there was this capture we'd have this. Now he's actually going to move his queen there, which I definitely do not mind. Is if we take, there's a lot of taking going on, I'll tell you that. But this knight move looks really nice, as this now gets this protector gone. So I'd love to do this now, and I think we're going to have to. Let's just think a little bit longer, as we have got the time. So if we was to move here, I'm guessing if there was this capture, I think we feel fine here, but I'm just scared of this bishop move. But I think if we was to capture there and then they capture here, I think we'd have something to do. This would be able to protect this easy. So we're going to make this move now. If he was to push, again, I'm still fine with playing that. This actually be a lot nicer, because we're attacking this while attacking the bishop. So think about if our knight was in this position, and off this trade, nothing really will be protecting other than the bishop. Now he's actually going to capture here, which I find very different to what I was expecting. As now our knight captures, I guess he's got this. So I guess we would capture with the pawn here, or we could capture first and then capture with our knight. But I'm still fancying taking just with the pawn, to be honest. If we take with the pawn, we get a very nice open file here. So, and we still block this bishop in, and if it wants to not get traded off, it has to go back, in which we have a nice rook b8 move. Always have bishop to h6 as well. It's looking good. So this is pretty much out the opening stage as he now does play this bishop move. As you've got to really think hard here. I would say we just put the bishop here now. Don't really want to have any shenanigans there. Yeah. Just thinking, if we was to play here, is there anything wrong with that? The only issue is this move, we're actually able to move the knight straight after. So we're going to do that. I think it's going to end up the same thing anyway. We're just going to capture, is what I'm suspecting. As it's going to happen. And my guess now is this knight's going to try and come in. But not just yet, by the looks of it. He wants to try and make a bit more of an impact there. Now, I think we could push this pawn here and start attacking this queen with some might here. As I'm not really seeing anything else. I think f6 is going to be a very strong move for us soon. I'd like to attack here. If it moves up, that's perfectly fine with me. As we'll always have this rook move as well. Again, same thing like this. We had to actually double our rooks here. That's what we'd probably do because I'd end up in the same situation. But I think we definitely need to move f6 after this here. See what he does, firstly. Because I'm suspecting the queen's just going to come back to there. Otherwise, it's got to be careful with that. So, yep, as it does. Now, I think we're just going to play a nice f3 move here. So, that seems reasonable. Now, the reason I'm doing this is to block any sort of attack with this knight. And, obviously, this bishop. So, he's going to line up, obviously, this pin. So, it's all going on here. Now, we have a very nice bishop move. Don't really think he does too much, though, other than we could infiltrate in. But again, I don't think that's really the best idea. I think we might need to start moving this queen over to their side here. So we're just going to play that now. This bishop is unprotected, but the minute nothing at all near it. Opposite coloured bishops as well. So there's if just ends up with these bishops here, this could be very much a draw. So we just got to be careful as he starts to retreat his knight now. So we could push again now, but then he might try and retreat and try bluff us into that. Or we could allow him to capture, which does seem alright. It's not the best, don't get me wrong. But if we was to capture him, they'd capture the queen or bishop. Might not be the worst, but again, I don't really want to be the one capturing. I want to be the one, should I do that? Now, this push does look very reasonable as after this move. If he moves back, I'm just very wary of this, but I think we probably have counters, I would have thought, but it doesn't look like it. So we're really low on time now. So we've really got to think, and I think we're just going to capture. It's nearly half his time here. So he's been playing very fast. But I think we've been making reasonable moves here. We're going to make a very big move now. We're going to obtain this centre as much as we can. We've been sticking back a bit with this like semi-hyper-modern opening. As he's going to move his bishop now to attack this pawn. As I'm not too worried about that. And I think we're just going to... if we do that, though, we do get rid of the protector. But at the same time, then we might have this idea. But I think what we're going to do is we're just going to protect this pawn here. And I'm suspecting this to start happening. I'd really like to have done this, but I just don't think I would have had the enough pit there to do that. Anyway, we're attacking a very good g2 with this bishop. So if he does capture us and we capture back, then that so he does stop this move. It's very nice from him. But again, I think this looks very good for us. Because I think now we're just going to get our queen into a very decent spot here. And now I think we could just start trying to charge up h5, h4. Push the h pawn up. I think this capture might limit us to a bit worse here. But also you've got to see the long diagonals here. As you see, we're attacking this rook from a distance. So if this rook was to ever go off this file, that's unprotected. So... now he's actually going to take that rook off. Now this is where we could try and do something like this. But then obviously we lose the pawn. But at the sacrifice we could get a very nice move here. But again we lose a pawn there. And it's all maybe not the worst, to be fair. It's a risk. Let's say that. It's a very big risk if we wanted to take it. And should we? If we just play that, they could just take straight away. So let's not do that. And I think we're just going to push this pawn. If we push the pawn we do lose that. But then we have a very nice push after. So we're going to have to try something out here. It's not looking the best for us, especially with time. We might spend a bit long here, but it's not the worst. As we probably spent good enough time on the position, but now we could just push and absolutely stabilise everything here. He's obviously looking at some sort of queen trade, As I think we're just going to move our queen here. Where to is the question. I think we're just going to go up one here. As if, again, if he takes, we still have that push. Limiting to something like this, and we get a very nice take on 2 pawns. He might push this, though, which probably isn't the best after something like this, but we don't know. So we could push here, but the take doesn't really look the best. We could take there, but again, still not the best looking. So it looks like he's just going to push, though, so we're going to have to make different ideas here. And I'm going to try and just make a move like this, for example, and see what we can get out of it. Now, obviously, we haven't got this attack anymore, but we still have quite a strong position. I really need to try and play rook b8 soon, but I'm just scared that he's going to try and get this rook into action, because at the minute he isn't. And this is looking ever so more wanting to happen. Maybe different to take this, actually. But let's see. As we probably should try rook lift soon as well. You know, maybe try and get this, move the rook back, vice versa. Anything like that really would help. As now we're slowly getting back some time, I think. We lost a little bit out later on, and we're actually just going to close everything up. Honestly, we're going to give this bishop a new place to be habitable, let's say, because it's at the minute it's just dying in a bad position. So we're going to push this pawn. Yeah, it's not a bad position for us at all. If anything, we actually, I think, I would like to say we're winning. Obviously, I'll check this back in the game review, but the minute I feel very good position-wise. 3 minutes on the clock. Still plenty of time. Just got to make sure there's no hard tactics or anything that's going to ruin us about. I really want to get this, but it's just nothing's going to be on now. This push is looking very nice, as if we pushed, we can actually take, but it's just too risky in my opinion. So we're going to play this rook move, and I'm really trying to get a bit of like an outside move here, especially with something like this bishop. As he's just not even going to think about that side of this place. I think we're just going to move the queen down one again. Didn't really want to get back to here, as it just feels like we're retreating. And now, don't get me wrong, retreating's not bad, but it's something I don't want to keep doing, let's say. Now, he does play this queen move, which I suspected to happen, and we are just going to capture. We've got to think of other ideas now, as we're going to play our bishop back now. I don't know where this queen will go. Maybe something like here. I could try and go all the way down here. That's a nice idea for him. But again, we have this lovely push, which we could try and get something out of. Now he is going to play that move, and it might just not look the best for us, but I think we're going to have to try this now. You know, sacrifice this pawn for a greater bit. Now he's going to take, was that a pawn? Let me just see. Yes, it was. Now he could actually attack him here, and this actually looks nice, but I think he's going to play for this, which is a real shame if he does, because that's a very good idea if he does get there. We're just going to move the king. We're not going to try and block. Oh, actually, we should have blocked. I just did not see the bishop was under threat, but this is not at all bad in his position. He can't take, I'm pretty sure, as we'll have this capture. So I left that unprotected, but I remembered here we might have this. It's very risky, to say the least, but he is going to take, and we're going to take now here. And I think he has to push or something. He really cannot take this pawn now, otherwise he is going to be mated in two. So we might have got away with this, but it's very, very difficult for him to come back here. I don't even think he can block, because this is going to be double check. He moves this king and might be something. I'm not too sure, but 2 minutes to find it. It's not the best. As I'll be honest with you, you know, I could line up, but that was a genuine miss. Just absolutely fondled it there. We're going to take now. He's given away a pawn, but I don't know. Again, he's going to capture. Now that's a very smart move, but has he missed this check? Check, and it goes here, then check. He takes. Again, I just don't know how we can find it, as we might have to just move our rook across here, but again, that just doesn't look like the right move. As we're going to have to try, I think, the check here. As he's going to move his king up now. We're just going to have to play check again here. Then once it takes, we have check. It takes, and then we have something there maybe. But we could actually play this queen move here, to be fair. Because he can't capture. We're going to have to try it. We're really going to have to try it. as anything here will have to be done. I don't actually think he can block this rook now. I think what he's going to have to do is play a really smart move of not getting checked now. But I still think he's losing in this position, so accidental blunder could have actually saved us here in the dying minutes now. So, as we look on, time is now getting a bit better for us, as because we was half, it was 8 minutes to 4 minutes at one point. Now it's 3 minutes to 1.5, just over 3 minutes. But I think this rookie's going. Now the question is, how is he going to play this? Because this honestly could just be, you know, the best move I would say is something moving this king. But I still, if he didn't have this pawn here, obviously he'd have had a nasty threat there. But this pawn now is saving us, because this check would have mate if he gets his king over this way. So just maybe we might have scraped the bottom of the barrel to get the luck. And this could be an accidental brilliant move. We'll have to go over the game review. But this is just looking so close. He's trying to find the move. He might have a move. I might be completely wrong in what I'm thinking. You know, there might be a queen sack of some sort. I don't think there is, because even after push, I just moved the king. And it's the same position, just a queen down for him. And even then, I think he moves that. So he's going to actually just move a pawn, which is going to take with check here. Now he's going to have to move one place. He's actually going to move a little bit harder for us. If we was to play check there... Oh god, we've got to think now. Check has to go there. Check has to go there. I believe that is checkmate. So, we're going to play check. Now he can come here, should I say. But again, I think we'll just play check. I actually think we had check here or something. But this is still definitely not over at all, as there is mate next go as well. We've got to be very careful here with how we play this. So, I'm just going to play check again. And honestly, if he goes back, I think we're just going to try and play... Can we play that? But then take there. And he can protect the pawn. So it might not be over. I think there's a check here. Actually, I think I've seen it now. I think it actually discovered check. If he moves this, we're just going to sacrifice our pawn here for a check. And then there must be a mate on there somewhere. So we're going to play check here. And then we're going to play check again now. I've just got to find it. Is it check there or there? So check, take, has to go there. Check. I think it's that. First time I was wrong, but this time, I think this check, we actually just have mate down here now. As I don't want to make any errors now in my work. And he's going to resign anyway. Phew. And somehow, by some miracle there, we went from absolute shock horror there to... I don't know, but there was a brilliant move for both of us in the end. We've got to go through this game. It was quite a wild one, let's say. But this opening, a little bit different to what I usually play, especially as you see. We're just trying to open as we trying to learn the openings, though, that I've been doing. But even at the minute, nothing too big here. Just going through everything now. This is all quite, you know, we saw this. Now this was actually a blunder. Yeah, they're saying that this is a blunder, this king move, as it wasn't the brilliant move that we saw there. So this was the best move. Now what did they miss? This was a blunder. Their best move here was to actually play queen to e7. Now the reasoning behind that must be absolutely crazy, as I guess just after this take, you just have king... Wherever the king moves, to be fair, I guess there's just nothing on. As I guess we'd have to, yeah, we'd have to play a king move, and then we're losing. So it was very lucky to get away with that, as we actually make a miss here. And this was a brilliant move, sacrificing, as we had to play a check. And this was a good move, and he's still winning. There was a move, and it was sacking the queen. If you found that at the time, that would have been very good. I had a look at that, but I just couldn't rack in my brain that there was this, and that would have been, I would have been fair play to him if he did find that, or then whatever. But honestly, that was quite a difficult one. And then we obviously had these checks, as I kind of got a bit confused as we played a brilliant move. So they did quite well, I'll be honest. I think we definitely struggled. If I just have a quick go back here, about the same in accuracy. I think I got quite a lucky win there. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. So thank you and bye bye.